Durty Talk, the podcast with Bob Fryer. Keep the conversation cool, get it on fire from the studio room and push through the wires. Learn how the brains groove and distinguished outliers. The artists you admire who lace in walls and attire. Producers, designers, activists and rhymers. People dedicating time, keeping treads on tire.
So 12, part of the quarantine edition. I am here with Rachna Radar, who does a lot of beautiful imagery. I don't even know how to describe your work, but like when I seen it, I was very hesitant at messaging you and telling you, like, it reminds me of an Indian restaurant that I went to, like very inspired, very cultural themed, and definitely dedicated to who you are, I think. And
Thank you.
I was because I didn't want it to come up. I didn't want it to come across as being like I don't know. I just like
I get what you mean. Yeah, like that foreigner type of like.
Yeah,
it's so exotic.
Yeah,
yeah.
But it's beautiful. It is.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate that.
Is that mainly where your art comes from? Is from your culture, like your heritage?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, just to give you a brief background, like, I'm Indian. My heritage is Indian, but I was born in Kuwait, so I think I have a mixture of different cultures. Like, there's this Islamic influence. Like, if you've seen pictures of mosques and stuff like that, it's mosaic, a lot of like geometric kind of things. So yeah, I think it's like subconsciously in my mind though. Like, I never intend to put that in the artwork. I don't know. You could probably relate to that too. Like, do you ever like really have a set idea of what you're gonna do, or is that something? It depends on the piece.
It depends on the piece because, like for me, I've done so much hip hop work. I've done a lot of hip hop influenced work. Where if I'm doing a piece that I'm using like the Beastie Boys as the imagery or something, I'm listening to Beastie Boys the whole time. So like I'm feeling the whole vibe to do it. So yeah, I can like subconsciously, like I think a lot of graffiti and like the urban culture and the hip hop culture and lifestyle just embeds into what I do, because that's kind of like who I am. That's what I'm about. That's what I love. So it just funnels into what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to explain it for sure. Yeah, I think I'm like influenced by everything. I don't know. It's just interesting how your brain like regurgitates it, or something. You know what I mean? Because I never like set out to make a certain, unless someone asks me to do a portrait, or you know what I mean? But as far as like the abstract goes, and I'm like super picky about abstract. Like, there's so much good art. I mean, it's amazing how much great art there is. I just think I'm like super, I don't know if picky is the right word, but like, yeah, I got some very like, I have my own taste.
Yeah, I think that's everyone.
Yeah.
Like for me, I like a lot of children's art, and when I say like children's art, not like kids that are doing it, but I think kids bring out great art actually. But like children's books have amazing artwork. My favorite is Pete the Cat.
Oh yeah.
It's like this cat is just like a stoner cat and just having fun. So going from,
I read the one about the shoes, the school shoes.
It
was cute.
Yeah, my blue shoes or something like that. Right. Yeah. My wife, I read that to my daughter almost every night. My wife read it to her every night. Yeah, and my son's not too much into Pete the Cat, which is, I don't know why, but. So, did you grow up in India, in Kuwait?
I was born. So I like telling the story because it's like kind of when the art thing came into, like, I was always into art, but like, so I was born in Kuwait, but I moved here when I was 9 when the war happened. And, like, my parents and I were on vacation. Like, we were seeing Grand Canyon, you know, like Walt Disney World, all the nice, you know, tourist places. And we're about to go to California, and my dad's brother calls us in the hotel room. He's like, oh, Kuwait's been invaded. And my dad thought it was like a prank or something. So it was his younger brother, and he was messing with him. he's like, no, turn on the TV. And we saw the TV. We turn on. It was like the headlines were, Saddam Hussein's like invaded. We're like, oh shit, like I guess we can't go home now. Yeah, I don't want to get into. I mean, it was pretty messed up. But I was 9, so I was kind of like not aware of like how bad it really was. But I remember asking my dad, I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, don't worry, it'll be fine. We're just probably gonna have an extended vacation here. We're probably gonna stay here longer. And I have relatives in Pittsburgh, so that's how we ended up coming to Pittsburgh. So South Hills, like I went to Chartiers Valley in Bridgeville.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly.
Okay, yeah. So I was like the only Indian girl in my grade, though. So that was interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Art was a way for me to deal with a lot of those emotions. You know what I mean? Like, because I went from being popular in Kuwait to like, I don't know, I was bullied a lot. I mean, didn't have any friends, so art was like my friend. You know what I mean? It was a way to like I literally was like scribbling stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It was a very therapeutic, like cathartic thing. I tell people I grew up in Pittsburgh, mostly Pittsburgh.
Yeah, art's very therapeutic. Very therapeutic.
Yeah.
And I think for anybody that has any type of issues, it's always good just to write something down, scribble, doodle, draw, paint. Did you have a lot of issues then? Like you said that you were the only Indian girl there. Did you deal with a lot of backlash?
Yeah, it was mainly like, I think it was the age that I came here in 4th grade. I think that's when kids are starting to, I don't know, get a little more mean, or, you know what I mean? Like,
kids are mean to begin with.
Happens. Yeah. But I'm grateful for that. I mean, it was a fucked up thing that happened, but I believe in, things happen to you and they shape who you are. And I think it affected my art in such a profound way that, I don't know. I did have issues of like, why me? Like, why was I spared? Like a lot of like guilt for having escaped that situation. You know what I mean? So I think being an artist for me, I'm just grateful for it every day. I'm grateful to live in America. I'm grateful that I live in a place where art is like flourishing. I mean, America is some of the best. I'm just saying historically too.
Yeah. I mean,
music, hip hop, jazz. I mean, techno. I'm super in electronic music. Like, I don't know. It's just, I'm like conscious of it. Is what I'm trying to say. Like,
I think music, from hip hop to jazz to almost any genre, can actually put a vibe into you, and like you could start seeing visuals go along with the lyrics, with the beats and sounds. Now, is that how you see the art? I guess in like get inspired.
For me, the art comes from the music. Like I have to have music on whenever I'm creating. And I was super into dancing and like raves and stuff. And I think because I like to DJ too, and I think the music, it definitely is like. Because I mean, you've seen what I do, like a lot of the geometric, like pattern kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that literally is like the beat of like, it's hard to explain, but like, the syncopation of the beat affects like what I'm actually literally drawing too. I think it's really interesting, how they kind of influence,
so
each other.
When you're creating, do you have something in mind, like for a show? Are you showing a lot?
I was for a little while, yeah. I think I got a little discouraged, to be honest. I have so much mixed feelings about, like, you know what I mean, like the art world, and I don't know. Sometimes I think it's like a product almost, the way people, you know what I mean. I know it's different for everybody, but I guess I'm just comparing from like the Renaissance till now. Sorry, I don't know if it's too broad.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard to explain. You get what I'm kind
of. I get what you're saying, but I think it's kind of hard to compare art now to art back then, because a wealthy family would just hire one artist, and they would do everything for their house or their kingdom or whatever it was. But now, like, the art world is so it's such a vast. It's like an ocean that just has no depth, and and there's really so many great artists out there, and I think Pittsburgh is a great city, but at the same time, it's a blue collar city. So I think,
especially now. I mean, that's
where
I mean, you know what I mean. I'm just in a state of like anxiety. I think maybe it's a good time to put into art.
That's actually all I've been doing is aside from working and everything. I spend all my time with my family after my work day. And then I come down and I'm in the studio for a few hours messing around using the supplies that I have right now, because I was just talking to Q Perry. Everything's out of stock when you go to order something right now. Paint supplies
you gotta just adapt. And again, the whole Kuwait thing, it's like bringing up like PTSD for me. Just playing like, wow, what do we do now? That whole vibe. But I do think humans are adaptable, and
some are.
Figure it out. It's like a curveball, though. But going back to sorry, I feel like I'm all over the place.
No, take your time.
As far as art making goes, I do think I come from more of a therapeutic standpoint of like process over product. I recently heard that term in school. I do appreciate aesthetics and like how it ultimately looks, but I guess for what art has been for me personally, it's just been a way of coping, and like you said, like therapy. If it happens to look nice, that's like a plus.
See, I'm not one to worry about if it looks nice. I worry about if it comes out looking the way that I visioned it, because that's what matters to me, and it's very important that I get out the way that I envisioned it. I've actually painted over so many things and just started over where it didn't come out the way that I wanted.
Nice. I think that's a true artist, in my opinion, actually. You know what I mean? Like uncompromising, like not gonna settle.
Like most artists, I am my own worst critic.
Yeah. I totally hear you, man. I hate like most of my stuff.
Now you just mentioned that you have, I guess, some frustrations with showing right now, or?
I think honestly, like you mentioned Raw in the first conversation. So stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like I'm already a struggling artist, and it's like I don't have the money to, like, even framing stuff and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just the cost of showing for me was like, I don't know, it just got really like, it just wasn't feasible.
I'm not a person that likes to pay to play.
Exactly.
When we talked about Raw before, what I think they have a great concept. I think they have a great idea or grand scheme of things, but the bigger picture is how can they profit off of artists? And it's like you sell 15, 20 tickets or whatever it is. It's your friends, it's your family that are going to come support you. They're going to buy the ticket. And then you got 40 other artists doing this. So right there, you got about 800 people coming to an event. Yeah. And everyone's divided and for their own friend. I mean, I've been lucky enough to sell quite a few at a Raw one, but the more you do it, the less you make, I think, because a lot more people continue to see the same work. That's just me.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it gives you exposure. I met some cool people, and
Yeah, but you can get yourself
about it. But the cons like outweighed the pros for me at that point.
I mean, if you're looking for exposure,
there's other ways.
And that's something that took me a while to do. It's like I'm not going to just accept every show now, just because if it doesn't fit my schedule or fit my I guess, with what it's about, I'm not going to do it, because the internet is free exposure. The use of hashtags is great. The use at promoting your Facebook page or Instagram page where you can sponsor for $15 to go for how long? Like
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to admit I pay for advertisement, and I do encourage other people to. It's
I need to learn more about that, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm in the phase of my life where I'm creating work. I was like criticized too of like not having a cohesive body work too. But I mean, you're gonna get, you know what I mean? Like, I've heard all kinds of stuff.
I love criticism. I love it. And
I mean, it's kind of true. I agree. She's like, your stuff's just all over the place. But
artists are all over the place. So like, if someone's gonna say that, like, who gives a fuck? Like, be like, well, your comments are.
In hindsight, I'm like, whatever, But at the time, I was like super pissed about it. No, but I think it's good. It's good to. I think I'm just like I feel vulnerable too because I recently started going to Red Fish Bowl. Chris is a really cool guy.
Yeah, Chris is nice.
For like 7 years, but like I was telling him, I'm like, it's just such a personal thing to me that like, it seems like a cop out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna hide in my studio and just do art. You know what I mean? Like, what's it called? The artist graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just like accumulating shit in my house, and Well, I think eventually, like right now, is not the best time to get out there.
Actually, now is a great time to get your name out there because people have nothing else to do but get on social media, start liking shit, start following people, and like there's ways to do that. Like I think all artists should use this time in a way that's going to be productive for them and potentially financially lucrative in a way where when this all happened, I was about to have a show and I was like, oh, should I cancel it? Because it was still like, are things opening, closing? Like people didn't know. And actually after talking to my wife, she was like, do you really want someone to come to your show and risk? And I'm like, no. So like I messaged the guy. I was like, look, probably not the best time for this. We can always reschedule. There's always going to be art. And he was cool with it and he agreed. And so like now instead of me feeling sorry for myself, because we're all dealing with this, it's finding a way out and to find something for the future to line things up. Like I'm making contacts. I'm emailing galleries right now. I'm coming up with new ideas, new items. Like I'm putting out a print release almost every week right now. And that's what
merch and stuff.
Yeah, there's so much that can be done right now, and I think your work would print beautifully.
Thank you.
Because like the colors,
I'm super critical, so
no, the colors
really
pop.
Taking compliments too. I'm just like,
yeah, compliments are hard to take. I mean, I'd rather it's easier for me to take someone saying that my shit sucks than being like, oh my god, I love it. Like I just got a few messages from people that bought some prints. They're like, I love them. They're sending me photos of them framed. They're like, I'm gonna have to get more. I'm like, yes, please get more. Yes, please.
Wow, no. If I started selling work, like that's just an unfamiliar feeling. Like I would like, I don't know. I think I'm like so afraid of it. It's just embarrassing to talk about because I am afraid of like failure. But I keep hearing, you should at least try. So it's like I don't really know what I'm like waiting for. I don't know.
Failure is the first step of success.
More work. Sorry, what was that?
I said failure is the first step of success.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you don't try it, you'll never know. And I'm a person.
100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, that's true. Wayne Gretzky, he said that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm really into hockey.
I'm not involved in any sports.
I think what I'm trying to do is like make more work. I would love to work bigger too. So I saw you talking to Muldoon and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like murals. I'm like dying to, you know what I mean? Like I would love to. I guess what I'm feeling is like, but what you just said about getting exposure like that's very true. I could still be emailing, you know, I could still be sending images, but you know what I mean? Like there's different ways to go about it.
Count.
So it's helpful to talk to you, and you know.
Yeah, count.
Think about that.
If you look at every place you go to, restaurants, bars, some clothing stores, and when I say clothing stores or something like that, I'm talking like down in Shady Side. They have all those mom and pop stores that have a great feeling, like little boutiques and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That yeah, don't be afraid to contact someone and be like, hey, can I display some art here? Because the worst thing they can say is no, right?
True.
And then you move on, and then they might start thinking about it, and they contact you back and be like, hey, you wanted to show some art here. Let's bring it in. It's all about asking. And nobody can tell you no if you don't ask.
Right. And it's like through a screen, too. It's not like someone in your face being like, no. You know, like, it's like, you know. I did have a show last year, though, actually. I completely forgot. The Commonplace Coffee House in the Mexican War Streets.
Okay, yeah.
That's because I taught the owners, like, it's like who you know for me. Like, the opportunities I have had are, like, I knew someone who knew the person. Like, those ones in the strip district, the two I had together, the big pieces, that's through a friend. But, you know.
Everything's who you know. At least that's what I believe. I got a lot of opportunities from Chris. And that was years ago, but you can't rely on one person unless it's yourself. That's at least what I believe. I was just talking to, I'm trying to think who I was just talking to, but friends and family, they're supporters. They're not fans. What you want to do, and I say you as just in general, you want to reach your fans, and that's where you'll make your money. That's and it's not always about money, but that's the people that you'll sell to, and who will be your collectors is your fans, because your fans aren't going to ask for a discount. You know what I mean? So, do you go out to art shows or like?
Well. Like, in my early 20s, I did, and I think most of like, nowadays, I'm in school for art therapy, and I was working until, you know, this stuff happened, but, yeah, I'm a teaching assistant, so I feel like between going to school and working with little kids, and creating art, it kind of, like, takes a lot out of me, I guess. I don't have kids, though. But yeah, I mean, you know, going to school and then working and stuff. But eventually, I would like this whole quarantine is just making me like dying to go out now. I'm like, you know, like just make up for lost time or something. Like I'm a very introverted person, but even you know, like 6 weeks of this or whatever, I'm just like, I like to go to Red Fishbowl a lot because just the energy of the art that's being created there. It's very like inspiring for me to work there. But yeah, as far as art shows go, I haven't been like I used to go to the art crawl in Garfield, like the one over there, and I haven't been to anything downtown recently either. But yeah, I'm just feeling like talking to you, and you know what I mean, like just seeing different art makes me want to like look at it more.
Yeah, there's times what I do is I search for different types of art. Like I'll just type in like graffiti art. I start looking at different graffiti styles. I'll type in contemporary art, outsider art, abstract art. Like I just start hitting, all of them.
Yeah.
And then what I like to do is also see somebody paint that way, and I go on YouTube. Beer. The beer's making me burp a little. I love YouTube as a tool for learning new techniques, learning about new artists, and that's kind of how I'm spending my time. Now, are you? So you're not working at all right now?
No. We're still getting paid though.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, I don't know what I would do if I wasn't getting paid. I'd probably move home or I don't want to think about it, but I'm working on a piece right now for family. It seems like most of the commissions I have are for family. And
well, that's
friends,
good.
So, yeah, I'm busy with that, so that's good. But yeah, I'm in finals at Seton Hill right now, so that's taking up most of my time for art therapy. But that the way that happened was interesting too, because I did go to school for teaching, and I was teaching for a while, but it felt like my experience with the Kuwait situation, like all that, like it feels like I'd be better suited to be like more one-on-one with people,
Mm-hmm.
like in terms of using art to heal. Like with teaching, I respect teachers so much. I just feel like for me personally, I just don't think it's like the right fit for me. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Like art therapy might not work either, but like you said, it's good to try.
What kind of
'Cause I always
jobs can
wonder
you?
in back. Sorry, get that.
What kind of jobs can you get from art therapy? Like,
Most of them are like private clients, I think, in like rehab centers or
okay,
like even like bereavement people who are going through grief, for example. Yeah, I mean, I need to look into that a bit more, but I've heard like there's different various places, like even schools. Some schools have art therapists as a, as
well,
a position there.
well, schools need that right now. Schools need a lot of therapy with how crazy the world is right now. I mean, it's like almost every week you turn around, you hear about a school shooting,
Yeah,
and that's sad. That's completely sad. And I think during this time at quarantine, haven't heard about one school shooting, which is good. No mass shootings are happening, and
True.
there is a positive to being quarantined in a way.
That's a good point. Yeah, I definitely think as a result of this, there might be more of a need for mental health. I just mean like for rehab and stuff, people need to go to meetings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking of different implications of being isolated. Some people it's probably really, really hard. And I'm glad we have art to keep us occupied. But to someone who doesn't have that, it's like
I could see people breaking right now on Facebook and everything. They're losing their minds, and I'm kind of like, this is kind of normal for me. Like, I hate going out. I hate going out. The hardest part of this for me is not seeing my mom, and because I'm really close with my mom, so it's like that's the hardest part about this for me. But even like going to the store locally, I despise it. I despise going to the store. I don't like leaving my house. I'm in my comfort zone. I got everything I need and a bathroom, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Were you always like that?
No. I wasn't. I used to like going out. I used to like going and doing a lot of things, but after my dad died years ago, thanks. It was 14 years ago. A lot of things changed for me. I didn't want to be too far, and now I'm just at a point where it's like, why leave? I could stay home and not wear underwear, and just walk around, like in basketball shorts. The hardest thing I really have to do during the day is shower, and so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, going to the store is definitely like a stressful thing. Like I have a huge decontamination process, and I mean, just that the whole thing of going is so tiring. So it's like I try not to leave as much as possible. But I mean, I've been doing a lot of art, listening to music.
What kind of music are you listening to?
I'm really into techno right now and drum and bass, and I listen to like older stuff though, actually. But there's so much underground music that I haven't even heard that, you know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm not about finding I just like what I like, and a lot of it happens to be older. I like researching. Like, that's why I love the internet. You can just look up anything on YouTube, and, there's, like, so many ways to keep busy. But I think I just miss, like, just being around people, like, just feeling, like, energy off of people, I guess. I don't know, it's hard to explain. I mean, I do like to be alone, but it's like sometimes I would like to change the scenery a little bit. That's why I like Red Fishbowl a lot, because I don't have to necessarily interact with people. I can be like around people.
Yeah, I know. So, do you have your own studio there, or?
I'm like in the community room. Like I get a little corner. That's where I got this triangle from John Nelson, who like made it for me. And I was working on that in like a little corner. And then Chris gave me these like huge amp speakers. It was really cool because I was like blasting my music like really loud. That was funny. Yeah, I like really fast music for some reason, but I think you can kind of tell when you look at my pieces because there's like a lot of little lines going on.
Yeah, there's many lines. There's many lines.
I like Sharpies. Yeah. I don't know why. I would like to maybe think of minimal, a little bit, like just to switch it up a little bit, just to, get ideas of different styles to do. But,
now, when you're creating, prior to being quarantined and locked down and isolated, what were your main inspirations?
I can tell you my inspirations for as far as artists go. I was listening to Q Perry's interview, and he mentioned Dali, and that was cool because like he's probably my favorite. I like MC Escher a lot. I wouldn't say I try to emulate him, but like I just love looking at his stuff. And H.R. Giger, he's really dark. I do think I have like a dark, not aesthetic, but like I seem to only like dark things, not light, but like I like horror movies. The music I listen to, like a lot of industrial, like a lot of dark stuff. I think it's like a way to like get it out. Like, I like music that's like challenge or kind of harsh.
I can understand that because I like a lot of dark art. I can't watch horror movies. I'm a grown ass man and I still get fucking nightmares. Like,
that's not for everyone.
It
hasn't done well though. There's like a lot of cheesy. I like work and stuff.
Yeah, I enjoy dark imagery because it makes me feel somebody has a lot of the same feelings that I have, or a lot of the same vision, I guess. And in a way, like we see things differently. I think artists see things differently to begin with, and so like I love dark art. I really do. I like a lot of folk art in a way too, and I like a lot of illustrations and cartoony art in a way. My favorite artist is Jeremy Fish, hands down. I adore him and his art, and it's just like amazing to see what he puts out. But then it's like there's a Rusty Ray. He goes by Slop Jockey, I think, on Instagram. His art is dark. It's very very dark, and I've bought 2 original pieces off of him because, like, when I see it, I'm like, that's just fucking badass. Like, it's beautiful though, and he does these like I'll put it up right there. They're like 5x7, 2x4, like they're really small pieces, and the detail he puts in on them is fucking beautiful.
You'll have to send me a link to his stuff. Have you heard of that Russian artist that I'm totally gonna butcher his name? Beksinski is his last name. He does like really dark, like atmospheric kind of landscapey. I'll message you.
Yeah. Send that to me. No, I haven't heard of him.
That's what I mean. Art. That's why I love art. There's like so much. There's so much good stuff out there. You know what I mean?
No,
it's so inspiring. But speaking of like inspiration, I'm not a graffiti artist by any means, but the documentary Style Wars made like a huge impact on me, especially the part where Case 2 is talking about computer rock.
Yeah,
like that's that computer that like totally it like stuck in my head, and you know what I mean. Like I have so much respect for. I suck at tagging, so like I tried it once.
We'll see.
But I just feel like that's the important thing is though, like inspiring somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought he was very.
I was just like.
Well, he had one arm.
Yeah. Right.
And the work that he was doing, and
I love Dondi too.
Yeah, Dondi. Yeah, and unfortunately, both of those two are no longer with us. Dondi Scene was in there, I believe.
Yep.
I'm trying to think who else was in there.
Dads.
It's been a while since I've watched it.
You do doodle. His mom's like, I don't. Sorry, I've watched that so many times. Because I consider a lot of my stuff doodling. So.
Yeah, but doodles can turn into something so beautiful. I've had little doodles that I've turned into paintings, and then they go where they go, or they get the old fashioned R.I.P. paint over. You know, like it's
But
there's
that's what's
just
forgiving about paint. You know what I mean? Like you can't really fuck it up because you can always like go over it.
you can a lot of my fuck ups I just go with it
Oh
at
yeah, that's
times.
very Pollocky, right? Deny the mistake.
Yeah, yeah. I just kind of go around
I
it.
look so many quotes by him. Yeah, that's badass.
So
He's such a like polarizing person. Like people either like can't stand him or like love him.
you know what? I used to like Pollock a lot, but then it's like I kept seeing the same thing over and over,
Yeah,
and I'm not
playing on a
discrediting.
song on the radio or something.
Yeah, I'm not discrediting his work or
Right. For the context, I can see why it was like, but yeah, after a while, it's like you want to see something.
Yeah, a little different.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about being an artist in Pittsburgh?
I think for me, I'm trying to be like, because I know Q Perry too. He was talking about like being the visible for someone like an Indian girl growing up here. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't see many people that look like me, in wherever I go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think I'm just trying to. Yeah, I think I want to get more exposure so that you know it makes a little more makes things more diverse. You know, I think I do need to get out there more though. Yeah, because at this point I feel like I'm kind of just hiding.
Yeah, but what is getting out there going to do besides? Now, do you just want to go out and congregate?
Just be like have people view my work that might possibly make them do art, like a kid. Or
Yeah.
Now, in that context.
Have you talked to the art teacher at your school? Where you're?
No, that's a good point. No, I haven't. Like the art program there, it's like super structured, and I feel like, because I don't know, everything's so like assessment based, and like I don't know, it seems like very standardized actually. But yeah, I would like to do maybe like after school programs or.
There you go. Start it up.
Woods would be fun. You know?
Yeah.
Sorry, what you said?
All right, just start it up, man. Just be like, hey, this is what I want to do. 4:30 here. This is what we're gonna do. I need all these supplies. Get them. That's all you got to say.
Wow, confidence goes a long way. I'm noticing that. Like successful people, there's not a person who's successful that's like, oh, maybe this might be a good idea. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just have to have more conviction, I guess. I guess that's where I'm at right now is kind of like figuring out what I want to do, I guess. You know what I mean? As far as like society goes. Like,
how old are you?
39.
Oh, okay. You're still young. I mean, it's
Thank you. I don't know if I'll be saying that when I turn 40.
Yeah. You know what? I'm in the same boat. I'm actually 39. I'm gonna be 40 in July. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I got a lot of white and gray going through my beard. And,
okay. Well, you have kids and you're married. I don't know either of those things.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Age is just a number. I mean, that's what I've heard. I mean,
that's all it is. It's.
I act like I'm like 22, probably.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's times I act like I'm 6. I still laugh when someone farts. So like it just. I have my own immaturities.
I think there's like a lot of different things I want to do too, though. Like, cause last year I started like DJing a little bit. Like I spun under the 48th Street Bridge. That was the trip. And like I played out a few times at different places, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed that as well. But I feel like there's like many directions I want to go at this point. But yeah, this quarantine is probably it just threw me off. So I guess I'm just trying to keep my head together as much as possible, you know. But I like what you were saying about like checking out different art forms and like playing around with different. Yeah, I feel like I'm a bit stuck right now. Is how I'm feeling about the art right now. Like I'm kind of tired.
If you're stuck, what I have done in the past is I tried drawing something with my eyes closed.
Oh.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I'll also
Hmm.
listen to music that you never would listen to. Sometimes that gets me out.
Hmm.
That's kind of how I got into my secret guilty pleasure of Taylor Swift. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh wow! I have the same birthday as her, by the way.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah, I'm
cool.
like super into astrology. I'm like, I can't think of more opposite people, but that's interesting. I don't know,
But
maybe not.
yeah,
I
like
guess.
I'm telling you, listen to something different,
She's really talented. Yeah.
or even watch something that you normally wouldn't watch, and get into a habit that breaks your habits. I mean, that's what works for me. Um,
Yeah, it's like the neural pathways. Like if you do the same thing over and over, it's kind of like training it. So if you
mhm.
differentiate, it'll probably
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Just Google all kind of different artwork. Like for me, I like the Google. I'm big into Basquiat. I like Basquiat. I love his work.
Yeah.
I adore it.
Yeah.
Andy Warhol, Mark Rothko.
Yeah.
Definitely Picasso. I love Picasso, Van Gogh. Um,
I love Van Gogh.
I
Yeah.
I
Like
also
the color
like
has influenced me a lot.
who's the artist? I always forget his name that did Son of Man.
I'm
If
like so bad with titles. What
it,
period is that?
I,
I like Max Ernst, however you pronounce his name.
I'm not I'm
Yeah,
very I'm very unfamiliar with the names.
I don't know. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of that screaming.
Yeah, yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, I like that one.
But Son of
Very
Man,
expressive, very, very
it,
alienating.
it fits right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like art that makes me feel something, but I do have like this robotic kind of. I don't know. I have this like detachment of reality. I guess maybe it's from just I don't know being a mind expanding kind of person.
you, you,
In my 20s. I don't know. I feel like I've transcended in a way, like with the war, Kuwait stuff, and like reality just was very painful at times. So art's a way to escape that. What's that saying? I think John Lennon said it. Reality leaves a lot to the imagination.
uh-huh.
But yeah, art can help you just overcome some of the crap that you've gone through.
Now,
I was going to mention something. I totally forgot what I was going to say. It'll come back later. But, I think I was talking about influences again, but I forgot.
So, what's influencing you right now aside from boredom?
That's a really good question. I guess I've been on a break from the drawing. I think it feels a bit like tedious right now because of how how much detail goes into it. But I think music really does. It just makes me get in the zone. I know a few artists talk about that, like the flow state where you're not really thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That's like where I try to get like all the time. It's like a place that I, whether I'm drawing or not, like I try to just be in that space. I don't know, just like I can feel people's like anxiety, like when I go online and stuff, like I can just, cause it's like like a month into this now.
Yeah, it's like 5 weeks.
I try to avoid going on there because it like rubs off. Because I'm like an empath or something. I'm very sensitive, so yeah.
You're sensitive because you're an artist. All artists are sensitive. Yeah. At least that's what I believe. Because I'm very sensitive on a lot of things. There's some of my sensitivity I've learned to hide it and understand where someone's coming at me on things.
Right.
But every artist has a sensitive spot. I think every artist has a very self-conscious.
Yeah.
As well. It can be very scary on going and doing something new, being told no, being told that your work sucks. Like we all feel that of getting like there's anxiety of like, do they like it? Do they don't like it? Because I actually used to go through a period where I would go to post something on Instagram and I would just delete the post or post it and then take it down, or I was just so self-conscious of posting my work and sharing it with people. It took me some time to actually get used to people commenting, and then get used to people giving negative feedback on something. Because they're behind a computer or holding a phone in California when I'm in Pittsburgh. You know, it's like everyone's a tough guy across the nation.
It's important to keep that in mind. Yeah, I think a lot of it is to get a reaction out of you too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like to see what they'll do, like push your buttons, just to the best thing to do is like not let it get to you. I guess.
That's what I've learned.
Yeah.
And it's helped me, and actually having my kids has helped me, because it's like I can't let them see me get bothered, but then at the same time I want them to have thick skin, and it's like because my daughter was getting picked on, and that bothered me too in a way. It's like, well, if you don't want her to pick on you anymore, tell her you don't like it, and if she does it again, hit her. So she never wants to pick on you again. And
true. No, yeah,
I didn't parent that well.
It's good to, I mean, as a parent, I don't have kids, but I think it's important to teach your kid how to stand up for themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
I would have liked that a little more, but I was dealing with like a cultural thing. Like my parents grew up, like they didn't really get how it was here. Like, so it was just frustrating for me. I'm like, Mom, you don't get it. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing.
I also think Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania is a very, I can't speak firsthand, but I think it could be different if you're a minority or a person of color. You could have either a good experience or a bad experience. And it bothers me when I see friends of mine that have had bad experiences because it's based off of their skin color and stuff like that. That bothers me, because that's just not cool.
Yeah, we're all humans. You know? We're all dealing with, especially now. You know what I mean? Like,
now.
Like everybody, any color is dealing with being scared. It just made no sense to me. I'm like, our blood is red. We all want the same things, basically, most of us. And it didn't make sense. But I think people could tell I was sensitive, and so. But just stuff like my name, like I still get like apprehensive. It's like it's stuck in me. I don't want it to be like a chip on my shoulder, but like I can tell I get a little bit like on edge when I have to tell someone my name, because as a kid I would tell them my name and they would just give me like weird looks, like what? Like, like that kind of shit. But it's like they were kids, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but adults.
I am proud of it. I think it's cool. My name means to create. I'm like, that's perfect.
Oh yeah. If I had a name like that, I'd be like, this is who I am, motherfucker. It means create. What does Tim mean? Or Lisa? Like these all American names. We there's no heritage. There's no reasoning behind our names. Like I'm okay with my name, but like, what the fuck does Bob or Robert actually mean? It doesn't mean create. It probably means something on the lines of being a douchebag. And
it means fame.
What does?
My best friend's name is Robert. It means fame.
Well, shit.
This podcast will make you famous. Or your art.
No.
I was going to ask you, though, what made you start the podcast? Like, how did that all happen?
I'm always creating. I'm always painting something, drawing something. I wanted to do something where I see all this talented people in Pittsburgh, and not everybody has as many followers as me, and I don't have as many followers as some people. And it's so, to me, it just blows my mind how a lot of the artists are connected in some way. There's like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Like it's almost like how there's like 7 degrees to each of us to how we're connected to someone else that doesn't follow us. So I thought it would be cool to bring artists into my studio, learn about them, learn about their process, sit down, have a beer with them, and just bullshit. Get to know someone who is doing the same thing as I am, who is basically a colleague, and at the same time, it's exposing them to my audience and people that might not follow them, where it could share their art and everything like that with my friends, my family, my quote unquote fan base that I have. And I just thought it'd be cool just to sit down with people that is almost like-minded but but different in a way.
Yeah.
And it's a learning process, and it's been really fun. I have you're my 12th episode that I've had. Yeah, and now it's like I'm branching off into different categories, different professions. Where I have a guy that's going to be coming on. I got to set the date. He makes hot sauces in Portland.
Oh, wow.
So like my whole thing is I want to talk to creatives. I want to talk to people that are their mind works differently than others. Like you got chefs, you got people that make sauces, music, beats, paintings, illustrations. I'd love to hear. I like talk to someone that's a poet. I enjoy poetry.
Me too.
My favorite poet is Shihan. I think he's an amazing poet. I like Buddy Wakefield, Saul Williams. So
I've seen some of this. Yeah.
So to me, it's just learning and connecting with people. It's a different way of creating than having a canvas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think a canvas, a painting, a piece of art can be a conversation starter. And when I bring someone in that's a creative, we have a conversation starter just based on what they love to do and what they have to do. You know what I mean? Like
it's fun to talk
I
about.
have to create. I have to paint. And it took me a while to get back into it after my dad died. And now that I do it, it's like I have to get in the studio almost every night for 15, 20 minutes, no matter what, to get me from here to even. You know what I mean?
Oh, I get that. Yeah, that's great to hear that it does that for you. You know, to be honest, though, I have like slacked off of that, but that's a great like discipline to have. That's true. I do need to. I think I'm like forgetting that I need to. Because depression makes you like, I don't know. It like takes your energy. To like fight it.
Yeah, depression can really fuck with your creativity. It's something that I've dealt with. And like right now, I go through my ups and my downs. But I see I cannot work if I'm feeling depressed. I can't. I can go doodle and do stuff just because I have to do that. Mm-hmm. But I won't work on someone's commission or I won't work on someone's painting if I'm in a down state because because the product and the outcome is not going to be. It's not going to have that energy. I don't want to put negative energy into a piece that where it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
It's kind of like fitting a square into a circle. It doesn't work, you know?
Right. Especially if you're stubborn. You know what I want to get back into is just getting a sketchbook and like just getting preliminary ideas for like a big piece. You know, just kind of like playing around with like the stuff I like the most that I've done. It's like really going in the magic, like just close your eyes and let your imagination just think of whatever. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just go anywhere you want. And I want to get back to that because right now I'm in that kind of doodle mode. No, it's like that memory thing that happens, like, you know, muscle memory. Like it's just so familiar to me. And I think I'm just at a point of like, especially with the quarantine, like just go where your mind like takes you kind of thing. Like, don't be afraid of it.
So when the quarantine is done and they're like everyone can go, and then there's some time. What are your goals like moving forward with your art?
Well, summer's coming up, and I won't be teaching, so that'll free up a lot of time. I would like to just create more art, like maybe make them like what that person was saying, like have a cohesive body of work.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know. That really stuck to me when she said that. I'm like,
what
do you
does
mean I don't have a cohesive?
yeah, what can somebody define a real
What the
cohesive
fuck?
body of work? Like
Yeah,
what
I
the
don't know what she
fuck?
meant by that. I
Yeah,
don't.
like how many pieces does she want you to have? Like like
Mhm.
like that's just a very broad, stupid statement. I mean,
Yeah.
I think if you want to if you want to present something, you want to have numerous pieces. You want to have different pieces to show your.
Thank you. That's what I thought.
Yeah, you know what? Whoever told
But
you
yeah,
that, you should
yeah, I'm
probably.
not gonna name drop
No,
anybody,
no,
but
no, no, no. Don't name drop.
it
But
was it was a gallery in here in Pittsburgh.
which gallery?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
gallery? Is it closed?
No, it's in Garfield. There's a lot of mirror mosaicy things on the front of it.
The
Yeah.
reason I ask is because
Oh,
I had a meeting a couple years ago with a gallery, and the words out of her mouth was, "Your work is very powerful. It's different. I like it. It's very urban. It's
hmm.
it's very interesting." Then I get an email from her assistant and tells me, "We're sorry, we're not going to go. We chose not to show your work or anything. We wish you the best in the future." And I'm like, all right, but like, why would you say that? Like compliment my
Yeah,
work and give it some nice, like, just be nice and kind. Like, why wouldn't you just
yeah.
be honest with me and be like, we don't like your fucking work. Try harder. Come see us when
Yeah,
you do
it
something
doesn't fit what
different.
we're doing.
Yeah, like that's one thing that I don't.
Wow, that's
I,
cowardly, man. Yeah.
I don't like about the art community because some people will just tell
It's
you
fake.
what you want to
Mhm.
hear and
Yeah,
then brush you off, rather than
yeah,
sometimes the things
yeah.
that you
Right.
like, you might not want to hear is the best
Mhm.
thing for you to hear.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
um, when some of the hardest things that I've heard about my work has brought it to light for me to really force myself. I had somebody that I'm friends with tell me that they want to see me do more original work, paint with my heart, my soul, stop using fucking imagery offline, don't get away
Mhm.
from stencils and freehand shit. And at that time, I was really pissed off about that
yeah,
because I thought they were taking a stab at me and my art, but in reality, they were challenging me to do something that's more original, and I think that's what it is.
yeah.
But also, a lot of people have a hard time conveying what they want to say to what they
Yeah.
actually say. Like,
That's hard. It's hard to do that.
yeah, so sometimes it
Yeah.
is, and then the hardest thing is actually hearing the truth.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's what actually forced me to start doing a lot of my own original art. I don't do too much fan art anymore, and I don't like I don't use pop images either.
Mhm. Mhm. I mean, I think that's what I admire is like originality. When I think about, what do I like about a certain art? You know what I mean? It's like because I could tell they did it.
Oh
Like I
yeah.
like that about artists that I'm into.
Well,
But I was wondering, like, did you go to school for art? Because I'm like self-taught basically. I didn't go to
you
any
know
school.
what? I did go to school for commercial art.
Mhm.
Long story short, I drew a picture of Hitler getting executed by a Grim Reaper,
Whoa. Cool.
and the teacher or the art instructor wouldn't show it in a show that was up. She said it was too violent and that it didn't fit
I think art should do that. It should challenge
yeah,
and come.
and she confronted me about this in front of the class, which led to
Uh,
me, like, my exact words were, "You're a fucking Nazi," and I left. So,
wow.
yeah,
It's like something out of a Doors movie or something.
yeah, but
Morrison's like, I quit, even though that didn't happen. But yeah, I'm a huge Doors fan. But no, yeah, I mean, I hate being censored and like, yeah, I get that. But you just never went back after that, or
No. I even tried to get my portfolio off her, and she fucking threw it away. So, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, when you call someone a Nazi, I mean that's gonna happen. That like that's not one way to make to make amends with somebody.
Yeah, like, guess you burned your bridges.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of things that you could be called, and being called a Nazi is probably something that nobody would like.
Yeah, it's up there.
And I mean, unless you're Hitler, then he is a Nazi. I mean, so that's just calling a spade a spade.
I never went to art school though, because it's like very cutthroat or something. Like how competitive, you know what I mean? How artists can be real. I mean, I think competition is good to an extent.
Oh, I love competition.
But I just knew that that's not what I don't know. Maybe I should have.
I'll tell you now. I'm competing with you. I'm competing with Q Perry. I'm competing with Muldoon, Cam. Everyone that's been on the podcast, I'm competing with, and I think we're all competing against each other in a healthy way.
You know what? That's a compliment to me, because I'm always like, wow, there's not many girls here, so it's like I feel that feminist thing of like I have to work harder to get whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I like that I'm in the category, because you're talking as an artist. You're looking at us as artists. Not, you're pretty good for girl art. Like that's what you're saying. You know what I mean? So that's cool.
If somebody says you're pretty good for a girl, like what you should do is like
kick them in the nuts.
Yeah, like seduce them and then put a paintbrush right up their ass, because like that's just a fucked up statement to make for any gender.
But I'm saying in my head is what, you know what I mean? Like, oh, there's not many girls. That's not true though. There are many female artists out there for sure. I just mean like in my circle, you know what I mean? Because I'm around like community's really good. Yeah. There's a lot of female that I haven't met that many girls there because I haven't been there that much. But no, I think it's a male dominated. Do you think art is like male dominated though, like in society?
I think there's a lot of
more women that just aren't heard of. I think the exposure maybe is not.
I follow quite a few women artists. But I follow a lot of artists. And I don't remember all their names. There's this one, the one female that I follow. She does a lot of work that is very sexual. Like it's bright colors and it's like I don't want to say it's cartoony because it's not. I'll have to send you a photo of it, but it's like the one. Like body. Yeah, it's a lot of body. Okay. Like the one is that I really like is like it's like the penis inside a vagina, like is like it. And I know that like I'm not saying it like in a perverse way. Mm-hmm. It's the way that she painted it with the colors that she chose was just it turned out beautiful. Like if you look at it, you're like, oh my god, like it looks very abstract. Then you're like,
can you tell that's what it is? Oh, you said yeah.
Yeah, like it took me a minute because like I was going through the Explorer tab on Instagram and I'm like, wait, I was like, this is a beautiful like abstract piece, and then like I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man, that's a dick. That's a dick. Yeah, yeah. Like it's actually a lot of beautiful art, and a lot of her stuff is embracing like people's bodies is what I get from it, and the sensation of a sexual experience. Like I love it, but I think there's a lot of guys that do art. I think there are. But I think there's equally as many women that do art.
Right.
I don't think it's a male dominant
thing at all.
Yeah.
My mind, like I'm an analytical person, so I always like. I think it's from coming here from Kuwait too. Like I'm the only brown person. You know what I mean? Like I just do that automatically, like seeing what the scope is. Like,
Well, the customs over there and are way different than they are here.
Women aren't allowed to even drive there, dude.
Yeah, so
I wasn't allowed to play outside. Like, I didn't learn to ride a bicycle until I was like 15. I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? I have that whole like, women should have the same. I don't know. It's like a part of my consciousness. To be equal.
I mean, there's quite a few women out there that do great work.
For sure.
The one thing that I don't like, and it's going to be, it doesn't matter what gender the person is.
Mm-hmm.
On this, it's if you're going to post your photo and be half fucking naked, or to use your body to promote your art piece, if your body looks better than your art, and that's why you're getting the likes, I think. And I think it really bugs me when I see attractive people doing that. It's like you
kind of pop up.
Yeah, it's like I just want to get the likes. Like post
because then everyone can do that. Anyone can do that, though. You know?
Yeah. Well,
try to look sexy. And, well, not everyone, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
there's gonna be.
Try to do that.
If I take my shirt off and I wear a bikini next to my paintings, it's not gonna have the same reaction. Yeah. You know, like, yeah,
people do that. Women do that.
I
don't follow many women artists. Really, they put like their body on. Like, what do you mean? Like they try to like be all sexy.
Yeah.
Really?
There's
wow.
And I don't think it's the great artists that do that. I think the great women artists.
They know their art can speak for themselves.
Yeah, like. I would have never thought that, like, when I look at a piece of art, I'm looking at what it says to me. I'm not worried about what the artist looks like or anything. Like, I'm like, oh my God, that fucking speaks to me, you know?
Yeah, right. Huh. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Social media can be a trap in that way.
Oh, it's...
like, I find myself doing that. I'm like, whoa, this didn't get any likes at all. And, like, all bummed out about it.
But here's the thing, man. It's not really... The likes might not happen because people don't like your stuff. It's probably happening because they're not seeing it. Because Facebook and Instagram, the algorithm is there to push celebrities, push influencers, and to push for people to pay for likes. And I've
been approached by a few people like buy or whatever.
Don't do it.
I'll post your stuff if you give us like $100.
Yeah, no, don't do it. I will give you my recipe. I will send you my recipe with what I do tonight on what helps me gain followers, keep followers, but also get sales going. I'm not a mastermind behind it, but I've kind of figured out a little pathway that I use. And until that stops working, then I'll change it up. But right now, I have my own recipe that I do. And it's like my likes vary from 15 to 100 and some and up. You know, but it's not that. It's about getting exposure, gaining new audiences. Because like I've actually had people be like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad I found you. Like I want to buy this, and this." And I've had people drop quite a bit of money before all this and buy stuff. Like my main collectors are West, Midwest, out there. Like I have a guy in California. I want to say Iowa, Minnesota, that their house looks like a mini gallery. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, wow. And it's
very nice. I would love that, man. I mean, yeah, it's just family and friends right now, and even my family. I don't get into it, but they're like, "Can we have family discount prices?" And it's just like, and I put so much time into it, though. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I would like some help. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
it's just.
And that's what I was saying. every artist, every business owner goes through that, and believe me, like, you are being an artist, you are a business, you are your own brand, you are your own business. Family always wants a discount, not always, but I'm saying that very broad.
Yeah.
Family and friends want that discount because they're family and friends. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
it's kind of human nature. Yeah.
But I really feel that somebody that loves your work and appreciates it, if you say this is $500, they're going to be like, okay, I'll buy it. Like, when somebody buys something, when you go to the store and you go to Foot Locker or wherever you fucking shop, you're buying the brand that you want, the piece that you want, the garment, the item, whatever. Giant Eagle, you're going to go buy whatever you want there. You're not going to be like, can I have this for $20? You know, like my cousin works here.
You like it. You're willing to pay because you like that thing so much. Yeah.
And it's hard to get past that. And I've actually gotten to a point where I don't like to sell my work to friends and family unless they come to me and say, I want this piece. And I'll be like, this is what it is. Like, that's kind of where I'm at, because if you really want to support someone, you pay full price.
Right.
There's times I will give away. I give a lot of stuff away whenever I ship things out, no matter who it is. If I have prints, I do that. I throw in original artwork. I'll draw something. So, like, somebody's always getting something more than what they paid for. And
nice. That's cool.
And, like, if it is friends and family, I'd be like, look, here's the price. I'll cover shipping. I'll say that, because sometimes shipping it is, it's not that much. It depends on the piece.
Yeah. I would love to make more prints, and, like, I don't know if you've seen, like, I have the Society 6. I mean, I make no commission on that, but I love seeing the art on some of those products. Like, it's just really nice to see it because it's really well made. But, like, at some point, I would love to be able to make some of that stuff.
And you can.
Get the middleman out of it. Sorry, what?
You can do that.
Oh.
you can easily do that.
Yeah. I like Flower City. They're really good.
Flower City. I've
been using them lately.
I use Josh. Josh printed I went to Minutemen Press for prints years ago. I did not like how they came out. Josh hit me up on Instagram years ago when he was under S and Sons or something like that. He had a whole different business.
Oh.
And he was like, hey, we can do prints. So I've been working with him since, 2020? I've been working with him maybe 6 years.
Wow.
And 6, 7 years maybe.
I'm always happy with their stuff.
Yeah, and I'll tell you now, now is the time, the moment to find local. I can give a suggestion for Flower City, because I think they're great. I've been using them forever. But regardless, and this is my personal opinion and kind of what I've been telling a lot of my friends, if you're going to get anything done right now, put the money back in your community and put it back into a local business, because they need our support more than ever, and that will not go unnoticed. They will remember that. But believe me, and they'll be very thankful.
Really cool. We dropped it off at my house.
Yeah.
Instead of having to come get it or mail it, and just put it on my doorstep. I appreciate it. Yeah. Supporting local. Like, I am pretty uplifted to see how the community's helping each other out right now. You know, like, I don't want to sound like I wasn't surprised. I mean, I don't know, kind of was. Yeah, like how humans might actually help each other, before making money. You know what I mean? Humans are the most.
I think we are the smartest dumb creatures ever, and just as humans in a whole, we're very greedy. We're very self-centered, and that's all of us. And I'm saying as the human race, like look what we've done to everything. We build it up, we destroy it for no fucking reason. You know, like
you do good too. You know what I mean?
There are a lot of good people.
I don't know. One would argue there's more bad than good. But, I mean, you know, it's good to focus on good, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's I've been trying to find something good every day,
Right.
especially right now because of how times are. If it's like a little story, a little photo, a little video that just makes me smile.
That's cool. Because, like, I like dark stuff, like I said I do, but it's like I use the dark to get out the negative stuff, you know what I mean? And then I use, like, positive things to, like I purge with the negative, the dark, and then, like, bring in good stuff with, like, focusing on positives. I don't know, it's like I need both, you know what I mean?
Well,
like, what's that saying? Like, you can't appreciate, you don't have happiness without the sadness.
You can't experience happiness without sadness. You can't have light without dark. You can't have Reese's without cups. I'm telling you, like it's just how it is. So we've been going for a while right now.
Yeah, how about that? Time flies and you're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see your actual space. You know.
Well, yeah. As soon as this is back in, we'll and we don't have to wear masks and gloves to be around each other or even be like 6 feet away. I definitely want to have you back in person.
Sweet, man.
And so right now, let us all know where we can find you, and I'm gonna put everything in the YouTube comments so that whoever views it can see it.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I have an Instagram. It's Rachna_radar_art. I'm on Facebook. Just put in Rachna Radar. I'll come up. I have like the artist page and the first one. My website is rachnaradar.com. It's just like all connect, one word. Yeah, I would love to, I don't know, I'm just trying to get out there more.
I hope this helps. And I'll definitely be in touch, and I'll send you a message here shortly with my recipes.
All right, looking forward to it.
All right, Rachna,
right.
it was nice meeting you. You take care. Be safe.
Me too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
What inspires the movements and refuses to fold? The allegories and all their glory now. Don't be snoring. Grab a coffee or a brew or two and open YouTube. Check out what I do. You can like and share it too. Show it to your family and every person in your crew, and put that subscribe button to use. Durty Talk, the podcast, brought to you by my man Bob Fryer, aka Dirty Art. Check it out.